Welcome back to From the Pages, where we crank the time machine to November 1965 and crack open 64 pages of pure wrestling history. A blaring, brawling, ad-crammed snapshot of an era when heels drew riot heat and babyfaces walked on air. We open with the mailbox, a powder keg of fan letters where the ink burns hotter than the turnbuckle lights. Here, diehards pour their hearts out in gushing praise for their mat idols, describing them as the finest athlete in the world today, while others sharpen their typewriters into weapons, blasting hated grapplers as cheats, cowards, and crybabies. Some call for lifetime bans, others for title shots, and every letter feels like it's being shouted from the cheap seats. Then comes Make Your Dreams Come True, an unapologetic blast of optimism telling you that you, yes, you, could be the next superstar of the squared circle. It pushes photo training manuals, exercise charts, and instruction booklets that swear you'll be wearing the gold in no time if you just send in $1 today. The ads surrounding it are pure mid-60s magic. 8x10 glossy photos of every star under the sun, wallet-sized keepsakes to trade with friends, and offers to own the actual trunks worn in the ring that make you reach for your money order. The real fireworks begin with, "Why do they lie about me?" Fred Blassie's volcanic rant against the fans, reporters, and rivals who call him a dirty wrestler. Blassie snarls that the only thing filthy about him is the truth he tells, scoffing at the witless creatures who accuse him of gouging eyes and stomping toes. He claims his infamous neckbreaker is a perfectly legitimate hold, and that if opponents leave on a stretcher, it's just because they couldn't handle his genius. He even mocks the idea that he's hated. "They're not booing me, they're jealous." The heat stays high with "The Night Eddie Graham Almost Lost His Eye," a pulse-pounding story of a Florida legend nearly blinded in the ring. One stray blow, a sudden gush of blood, chaos as the crowd gasps, and Graham somehow wrestles through the haze, refusing to let the match or his career end that night. The writing makes you feel every heartbeat, every bead of sweat, every second where the future of his sight hung by a thread. From there, it's the blunt, unapologetic voice of Killer Carl Cox in Even My Wife Hates Me, an admission that his brutality in the ring is so complete, so unrelenting, that even the woman who shares his name can't stomach it. Cox practically laughs at the idea of softening up, declaring that hatred is the truest side of success. That nastiness carries right into Wrestlers on Your Drop-Dead List, a fan-driven blacklist of the most loathed men in the sport. Presented with the glee of a public execution, name after name appears like mugshots in a rogues gallery, each one celebrated for how much they've enraged the paying public. And then, Red Basti. I'd Make Liz Forget About Burton is part interview, part fever dream, as the handsome high flyer recalls spotting Elizabeth Taylor at a Los Angeles restaurant. He swears that if he'd had just 1 hour with her, she'd have been his, Richard Burton or not. He paints the scene like a romance novel interrupted by body slams. It's all swagger, no shame. Buddy Fuller jerks us back into reality with "I went into the ring with a broken arm," the kind of story that makes you wince just reading it. Fuller recalls the snap, the doctor's warning, and the choice to lace up anyway. The bell rings, and every lockup, every slam sends pain shooting up his arm. But he doesn't quit, because real wrestlers finish the fight. Is My Wife Playing Around? Is tabloid grit in wrestling form, a drama of suspicion, jealousy, and the price of life on the road. The tension bleeds into Wrestling's Hall of Fame, the magazine's proud unveiling of the inaugural class, immortalizing the names and faces who've defined the sport, complete with career summaries and match highlights. Just as the respect sets in, the centerfold bonus. 18 wallet-sized photos tempts you to cut the magazine apart and keep your heroes in your pocket. Each shot is captioned with the star's name in bold, daring you to collect them all. Then comes the knife. Bruno is a cheese champ. Big Bill Miller's all-out assault on the reigning world champion, accusing him of relying on cheap tricks, ducking real competition and hiding behind his fan base. It's pure promo gold, engineered to enrage every Bruno backer in the country. Bette Boucher then takes over for Confessions of a Girl Wrestler, where the French-Canadian beauty dishes on her likes, James Bond movies, dislikes, girdles, and personal quirks. She sleeps in the Raw, all while reminding readers that she's as tough in the ring as any man. Speak to Me, Baby explodes into a mixed tag spectacle with Fran Gravette, Chico Santana, Jessica Rogers, and Dandy Varon trading holds and insults until Gravette earns a public spanking from the referee, the crowd gleefully counting each swat. The madness gives way to Why They Hate to Wrestle Her Highness, a portrait of a regal female heel whose aristocratic sneers drive opponents wild. We Must Ban This Evil turns moral outrage into print, demanding that the dirtiest tactics be outlawed for good, while Men Are Such Egotists cuts male wrestlers down to size, mocking their vanity and inflated sense of self-worth. The home stretch is all stats, scoops, and scandal. How They Rate lays out the win-loss records and momentum shifts across the territories, while the Grapevine delivers rumor, gossip, and behind-the-curtain whispers. The Girl Who Hypnotizes Men profiles a beauty whose allure is so potent it's practically a weapon, turning opponents into helpless victims before the match even begins. How Not to Run a Fan Club lambasts sloppy organizers who can't keep up with the demands of rabid fandom. And finally, the Fan Club Circle lists addresses and contacts for every major star, inviting readers to become part of the inner circle. Every page in between is plastered with ads that scream in bold caps. Order your wrestling photos today. Real action in every shot. Send $1 for giant posters. Own the actual mask worn in the ring. Train to be a wrestler from your home. They tempt you with trunks, robes, photo books, biographies, and even autographed items that may or may not have ever been in the same state as the wrestler in question. This isn't just a magazine. It's a time capsule, a carnival, a war cry, and a sales pitch rolled into one.